Thank you, Mr. Venkatramana. A warm welcome from the Indira Gandhi National Open University. And this is a very great opportunity for me, both in professional as well as personal terms, that I am witnessing a grand gathering with regard to the Janjatiya Gaurav Divas with my old friend, the great academician, anthropologist, uh, who was really a source of inspiration for many. He is none other than Professor Anil Kumar. Uh, Today we have his august presence with us in this webinar. As you all know, Regional Center Visakhapatnam has been continuously participating in each and every activity as mandated by the Government of India from time to time. Yes, we have already participated in this Janjati Gaurav Divas in the previous years also, but this time we have taken up a wide variety of activities to commemorate the 150th birth anniversary of Bhagavan Birsa Munda, as well as other tribal patriots across the country. And also, this is the opportunity for all of us to introspect ourselves regarding what exactly we have been doing to safeguard the rich cultures of our tribal localities. As you all know, the tribal localities, the areas which are largely populated with tribal people, are generally they are away from the mainland since long time. But post independence, the government of India has been taking many plans, activities to bring them and safeguard their own culture and their rich heritage. Every community, for that matter, they have their own set of traditions, their own set of culture, their own set of information to preserve.
Don't show the
So we are also very we should strive hard to safeguard our own culture. At the same time, this is the time to uh, we know the actual warriors who fought against the British rule, as well as who worked for the rights of the tribal people. Also, what are the actual traditions and culture they have. uh, Vishaka Government Degree College for Women. And we have prepared a small documentary on the tribal museum, which is situated in Arku Valley. And we will be now casting it through our RC YouTube channel also. We'll send the link. And we have also conducted drawing competition for the school children in and around our regional center here to just create awareness among them regarding the activity. And we have also placed an exhibition in the regional center premises since 15th of this November till tomorrow. We will be placing that, and many visitors are also there to witness the exhibition portraying the tribal art, tribal culture, and various tribes of this country altogether. So, like this, regional center is always in the forefront to conduct activities with regard to the issues uh, portrayed by the government of India from time to time. And is for this webinar, which is titled "Challenges to Preserve the Rich Tribal Cultures and Heritage." This is a very good topic indeed to for our students of Indira Gandhi National University and other students also. And to justify this topic, we have a very great eminent scholar, Professor K. Anil Kumar. He was a good friend of mine since my university days. He was there in Hyderabad, Central University of Hyderabad, for pretty long time. He completed his education there. Of course, my colleague Mr. Venkatramana will tell you about him. And he was a friend of mine from those days. He also worked in Indira Gandhi National Open University for quite some time, and recently he got the placement as professor in Indira Gandhi National Arts. So this is a very great opportunity for all of us to listen to him and his experiences, rich experiences as an anthropologist and as a professor in the Indira Gandhi National Center for Arts. And I sincerely thank Professor Anil Kumar for giving us time out of his busy schedule. And I sincerely thank from the regional center and on my personal behalf. Thank you, Professor Anil. And now I request Mr. Venkatramana to please introduce the guest to our audience. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot, sir, for your initial remarks. I would like to introduce today's speaker, Professor K. Anil Kumar, Head of the Department, Janapada Sampada Division, Indira Gandhi National Center for Arts, New Delhi. Dr. K. Anil Kumar is a professor at Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts, New Delhi. Prior to that, from 2010 to 2022, he worked as an assistant professor in the Department of Anthropology, School of Social Sciences in IGNOU, New Delhi. He also worked as an assistant professor from 2007 to 2010 at Center for Economic and Social Studies, ICSSR Institute, Hyderabad. He obtained his MA, MPhil, and PhD degree in anthropology from the University of Hyderabad. He has been a recipient of the ICSSR Doctoral Fellowship. His area of specialization is socio-culture anthropology, and his research interests include culture and environment, indigenous knowledge system, natural resource management, health and nutrition, development-induced displacement, resettlement and rehabilitation, and tribal studies. He has published a good number of research papers and articles in journals and edited books of repute. He is the author of 3 books entitled Relevance of Local Environmental Knowledge in the Era of Globalization and Obstructed Access to Forest Justice, the implementation of institutional reform in Andhra Pradesh forested landscapes, and large dams and displacement in India, issues of compensation, rehabilitation, and resettlement. Dr. Kumar has participated in many national and international seminars and presented papers. He has been actively associated with major and minor research projects and surveys with EPTRI, NIN, FHI, IPPG, UGC, DFID, and Jamshedji Tata Trust. He is the recipient of Maulana Abul Kalam Azad Excellence Award of Education 2020 by Shiksha Kalyan Foundation for his outstanding contribution in the field of education. In recognition of his contribution to the discipline of anthropology, Professor K. Anil Kumar recently honored with a certificate of recognition and appreciation at the World Anthropology Congress 2023 held in Bhubaneswar during August 9 to 14, 2003. May I request Professor K. Anil Kumar sir to speak on challenges to preserve the rich tribal culture and heritage. Sir, you may please go ahead.
Thank you for such an extensive introduction. At the outset, I would like to thank Dr. Dharma Rao ji for inviting me and giving this opportunity to deliver a lecture on these challenges to preserve the rich tribal cultures and heritage, which is very, very important topic at this moment, because the way we are celebrating the Janjati Gaurav Divas since 2021, now the tribal and their culture has become very, very important. And I also thank the organizers, Indira Gandhi National Open University, Vishakhapatnam Regional Center, all my friends and staff members, and my dear students, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to give a brief presentation on this tribal cultures and heritage and how to preserve, and what the government initiatives are taking place these days, and what are the new developments have come to preserve their culture and heritage, and what are the debates, and what are the schemes, what are the programs that are going to taking place in different ministries at the government of India. So I can run this PPT. No, can you can operate this, or
Yes,
should I
yes,
operate?
yes, Professor Anil. It is visible.
Okay. No, who will operate? Should I operate this? I have that right to operate, or somebody will operate from your side?
Presented by you only, it seems, no?
Yeah, I have shared, but I'm not able to
So we,
go forward. That is my problem.
you go to the uh, go to the tab,
Where?
PPT tab.
Tab. It is not moving. That's
From there, you can change it. You open the PPT tab, and then from there you can choose.
I opened this PPT tab, but after that I'm not able to move forward. That is my concern.
Hmm.
Meeting.
Move your cursor there.
Yeah, I'm moving.
Are you able to move your cursor?
I'm able to move my cursor, but if I click, it is not coming. No. Or should I go for?
No.
Okay.
So please send it to my WhatsApp. your presentation.
Okay, that will be great, I think. Just few minutes. Acha, now it is okay, no? Now it is fine. Is it okay now? Moving? Can you see the slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
It is
sir.
moving no now?
Yes, it is moving. It is moving.
Right.
Fine.
So this is the general profile of tribes of India, that we have about 10.45 crores population according to the 2011 census, and that constitutes 8.6% of the overall population. And we have around 705 tribes in India, which is called scheduled tribes. And among that, 75 tribal groups are particularly vulnerable tribal groups in 18 states and union territories, where 27.68 lakhs living in the villages of 22,554 and 220 districts. And their major occupation is cultivation, animal husbandry, casual labor work, collection of minor forest produce. And we have higher concentration states in many of the tribals in India, that is Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha, and Northeast region. This is the major tribal areas that is considered. So as you know that India is a melting pot for cultures, and the Janjati communities are part of India's diverse cultural treasury. And unity in diversity stands out as one of the most remarkable characteristics of India's population. That tribal people in India has been living with the Indian population. So the tribal people throughout the country have a rich traditions, cultures, and heritage with unique lifestyles and customs. And over the centuries, these tribes, with their distinct cultural identities and deeply rooted traditions, played a pivotal role in opposing colonial rule. So, the intricate fabric of India's fight for freedom intervenes numerous tales of tribal uprisings that evoked against British rule, and very few are we have in a written form. So, India's quest for independence was not only characterized by the fervor of general populations, but it is also included the frequently neglected contributions of tribal communities throughout the subcontinent. And India's freedom struggle was strengthened by several movements led by tribal communities such as Santals, Gonds, Koyas, Chenchus in Andhra Pradesh, and Thamars, Kols, Bhils, Khasis, and Mizos in the northeast area. So, in United Andhra Pradesh, there was also several tribal movements such as Rampa Rebellion, Gudem Hills movements, Komram Bhim movements, and so many. So the list of unsung heroes included several tribal men and women revolutionary from all parts of country. You see, there is a great that in tribal communities, not only men but women are also equally contributed. So among the tribal men, the Birsa Munda, Kumram Bhim, Aluri Sita Ramaraju in Andhra Pradesh, and Hanumantara in Chenchu, and Tilka Maji, Veer Surendra Sai, Roop Chand Kanwar. There are so many in, and among women there is Rani Durgavati, Rani Gindloi, Phulo Janu Murmu, Helen Lepcha, and Putali Mayang Mayatamang in northeast areas. So the movements and struggles of the tribal communities were marked by their selflessness, immense courage, and supreme sacrifices. Whichever tribal movement you see, they have communally fought for the nature and for the culture only. So the invaluable contribution of Janjatis to India's struggle for independence, as well as their unwavering determination to protect the rights for Jal, Jungle, Zameen, and the political economy from colonial oppression has been overlooked in the annals of Indian political history. So, for the first time in the country after independence, the art and the culture of tribal society and their contribution to the freedom movement and nation building are being remembered with pride, and they are being honored on such a grand scale. So, commemorating the sacrifices of the tribal freedom fighters and marking their legacy under the dynamic leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the Union government decided to observe the birth anniversary of the one of the greatest freedom fighters, that is Bhagwan Birsa Munda, as a Janjati Gaurav Divas with effect from November 15, 2021. And since on November 15, 2024, this year particularly, Bharat is celebrating the fourth Janjatiya Gaurav Divas is exceptionally meaningful as we mark the 150th birth anniversary of Dharti Aba Bhagwan Birsa Munda. See, for the last few years, I have been saying that since 2021, that every institute, every university, every organizations, now they are celebrating the Janjatiya Gaurav Divas. Even in IITs, IIMs, NITs, and many premier institutions that they are going to celebrate this day. And yesterday I was traveling from Hyderabad to Delhi. Even in the flight, they are announcing this 150th birth anniversary of Dharti Baba Dharti Aba Bhagwan Birsa Munda ji. So this is a kind of awareness that the government is doing it for the protection and preservation of this tribal culture and art. So the tribal culture and heritage is very, very significant. And India, especially renowned for its vibrant diversity, is a tapestry woven with threads of various cultures and traditions. And a significant part of this rich heritage comes from the indigenous tribal communities. So, tribal communities in India boast a kaleidoscope of cultures, each with its unique customs, languages, and belief systems. From the Aryan and Dravidian to the Indo-Tibetan languages, the tribal culture of India has witnessed a remarkable amalgamation of diverse cultures within its people. And from the Nilgiri Hills to the northeastern region, the diversity among these tribes is a testament to the pluralistic nature of India. So there is a lot of pluralistic, diverse nature that is across the country among the tribes. Though the profound impact of tribal culture on Indian civilization reveals the intricate elements that have played a pivotal role in shaping the cultural landscapes in India. And for tribals, land and forest are not considered just as a commodity for tribals. Rather, it is a very deep rooted religious and cultural ethos. So, the tribal movements were led to protect their rights over Jal, Jungle, and Zamin, to protect their identity and cultural heritage. So, the declaration of Janjati Gaur Divas acknowledges the glorious history of tribal communities and recognizes their efforts towards the preservation of cultural heritage. So, tribal cultures includes both material culture and non-material culture, art, craft, technology, and beliefs. It presents the way of life in its totality. In fact, the tribal heritage gets expressed through their culture. So there is a lot of contribution of tribal culture to the nation. For example, sustainable living practices, that tribal communities have been custodians of these sustainable living practices, harmonizing with natures for generations. So from agroforestry methods to eco-friendly housing, their practices often valuable lessons in maintaining ecological balance. So the foundation of tribal society rested upon principles of equality, extending reverence to all life forms, including plants and trees. So there existed a profound acknowledgement of the interdependence between nature and human society. For example, Podu culture in Andhra Pradesh, zoom and shifting cultivation in Northeast is a traditional land use practices of South and Northeast region of India, is an ecological and economical viable system of agriculture as long as population densities are low and zoom cycles are long enough to maintain the soil fertility. So, Podu cultivation, for example, is soil management and conservation have a special significance to regions where shifting cultivation is practiced. Earlier, this practice has been abandoned. So, for example, there is another practice of Halma is an age-old tradition practiced by Bhil and Bhilala tribal communities of the Jhabua district of Madhya Pradesh. So, Halma is a way of life for the people in Jhabua tribe in Jhabua district. So it is a medium which brings together the villagers to discuss the problems faced by them. You can see the photographs on the right side. So the problems can either be individual or a predicament of the entire community. So Halma play a big role in mitigating the water crisis, and environment conservation in a large parts of Jhabua district. Halma thus becomes one of the biggest, best example of the role of community participation and social solidarity in management of sustainable growth and development. So another example of another example is like indigenous water harvesting resources such as Jua, Munda, Kuria, Tikanakar, Katta, and Gutta are the popular among the tribes of Bastar in Chhattisgarh, and Khere, that is large tracts in Karnataka, and Cheru Katta in Andhra Pradesh. So all these resources are made with natural objects such as stone, wood, soil, and mud. This is the traditional way of indigenous water harvesting technology. So again, the integration of tribal cultures. So many musical instruments like basuri, dhol, drum, and many others are there. I don't want to mention here. So, and also folk tales, dances, and seasonal celebrations from tribal cultures have seamlessly integrated into Indian traditions along with their artistic and metallurgical expertise. Tribal languages and cultural also amalgamation in among the Indian population, that the emergence of regional languages in India such as Telugu, Oriya, Marathi, Bengali can be attributed to the amalgamation of tribal languages with Sanskrit or Pali. So virtually every Indian language has assimilated words from the lexicon of tribal languages. So it is a mix, whatever languages we speak today. And they have also the indigenous knowledge system and ethnomedicine contribution for the nation. So tribal communities possess this knowledge system deeply rooted in understanding of their lone local surrounding environment. So many medical herbs, agricultural practices, and ecological wisdom contribute significantly to the broader knowledge base of Indian civilizations. So individuals from tribal communities with extensive knowledge of diverse plants and their medical properties played a crucial role in advancing ethnomedicine practices. Discoveries such as dental care products like datun, roots, condiments like turmeric used in cooking, as well as various fruits, trees, and wines are attributed to the tribal contributions. So, the origins of ethnomedicine remedies for ailments like arthritis and night blindness and many more can be tracked back to the valuable insights derived from tribal knowledge. So, the knowledge of weather forecasting was also deeply rooted in Andhra Pradesh tribes, tribes from Bodo tribes and Mizo of Northeast India, and they utilize this type of knowledge in their day-to-day life. So, the nature and the character of the wild animals or domestic animals or biological, uh, insects, so that insects, birds, any animal you take for that matter, have been their behavior have been the way to forecast the weather forecasting. So indigenous communities in India are of the religious beliefs that sacred groves and medicinal plants are sacred in nature. So sacred groves are the patches of trees on forest land that are protected communally with religious zeal and connotations. So these sacred groves help in protection of many rare, threatened, and endemic species of plants and animals found in an area. So the process of deforestation is strictly prohibited in this region by tribals. Hence, the sacred groves biodiversity is a rich area in tribal habitats. So these are the few, that culture that has been contributing for the nation building. And we have also the rituals and festivals of tribes which are also contributing to the nation building, that is the oral traditions of tribal communities serves as living repositories of histories, mythology, and cultural heritage. And these stories, passed down through generations, offer insights into the societal structures and belief systems that have endured over centuries. And the deities, customs, creation myths, and diverse religious rites and ceremonies of tribal communities became assimilated into the larger fabric of Hindu society. So the tribal traditions, including ancestor worships, reverence for fertility deities and goddesses, along with the male and female fertility symbols and totemic worships, all contributed to this amalgamation of the Indian populations. And we have a great tribal culture of art and crafts that is extensively now it is growing up in India. So the vibrant tapestry of Indian art is enriched by the intricate crafts of tribal communities, whether it's Savara, Bagata, Purja from Andhra Pradesh, or Varli painting from Maharashtra, or Gonds, Thotis, Pradhans, and Koyas, brass metal, and bamboo crafts. All these art forms showcase exceptional skill and preserve cultural narratives. So various tribes exhibit distinct types of tribal art and crafts, including artifacts, textiles, ornaments, paintings, pottery, and products made from cane and bamboo. So, tribal art in India expresses itself through the varied mediums such as Pithora and Gond paintings, bringing vitality and exuberance to all its manifestations. So, for centuries, these communities have developed unique artistic styles which have garnered globally recognition for either visual beauty and cultural importance. So this form of art is a vital not only for the preservation of this the traditions and heritage of these groups, but also plays a significant role in bolstering the Indian economy. So now the challenge is to preserve all this tribal heritage. So while tribal cultures have been significantly contributing to Indian civilization, they face challenges in the modern era. So one is urbanization, displacement, and cultural appropriation pose threats, making initiatives for cultural preservation and empowerment crucial for safeguarding this heritage. So tribal communities in India face significant challenges related to displacement from their ancestral lands. This often occurs due to the industrial projects, mining, and urban expansion. As a result, many tribals lose their homes and traditional ways of life. So the loss of land leads to the struggle for cultural identity and economic stability. So education and healthcare access for tribal communities is also often very limited, and many tribal children do not have the opportunity to attend schools, leading to a low literacy rate. Additionally, especially healthcare facilities are often inadequate in tribal areas, resulting in higher rates of disease among the tribal populations. Why I'm talking about this literacy and this healthcare? Because unless you don't have education properly and you don't have facilities of healthcare, you cannot contribute to the society and nation. So these are very must. So economic marginalization is another pressing issue where many tribal communities rely on traditional livelihoods such as agriculture and handicrafts, but face competition from larger industries. So, this often results in poverty and limited economic opportunities. A significant percentage of tribal families live below poverty line, which further exacerbates their challenges. So, modernization has significantly affected the traditional knowledge of tribal communities, and many tribes are losing their unique practices and skills that have been passed down through generations. So, this loss can lead to the decline in cultural identity and heritage. So, as a tribal communities interact more with the mainstream society, there is a growing pressure to conform to dominant cultural norms, and this often results in the dilution of tribal customs and traditions. Many young people are adopting urban lifestyles, which can lead to a disconnect from their roots. And the push for the development often comes at a cost to the environment. Deforestation and pollution are common issues that arise from industrial activities in tribal areas. And this is not only affects the ecosystem but also the livelihoods of tribal people who depend on natural resources. But even though after that lot of government developmental initiatives are there, that the government is implementing various initiatives to develop sustainable livelihoods alternative for India's tribal communities by offering educational and skill training on the other one hand. And there is also institutional support is being extended to promote entrepreneurship within the tribal population, fostering their self-reliance. So these efforts aim to promote, improve income generating capabilities, and enhance the overall contribution of tribal communities to the nation's economic development. And this is the budget allocation for the development of tribes. And this is a landmark initiative for inclusive growth of the tribal people. And on the right side, I have given the period of the budget allocation since 2015, and prioritizing the welfare of tribal communities. The budget allocation of the Ministry of Tribal Affairs has been substantially increased from 4,295 to 12,461. And there is also a budget outlay under DAPST plan, that is development plan, under no more than 1 lakh crores. So there is also another schemes like the Pradhan Mantri Janjati Adivasi Naya Maha Abhiyan is a transformative initiative launched by the Indian government to improve the lives of 75 particularly tribal vulnerable groups. And with a substantial budget of 24,104 crores, including 15,000 crore from the central government and 8,000 crore from state government, this mission aims to address the critical infrastructure and basic needs of these tribal communities over the 3 years. So this PM Janman focuses on providing essential facilities such as safe housing, clean drinking water, improved access to the education, health and nutrition service, road and telecommunication connectivity, electricity, and sustainable livelihood opportunities. So this is the empowering schemes, PM Janman schemes achievements. It is there in the ministry that so many schemes that has been helping the tribal for their development. And these are also some of the major achievements that have acquired from the tribal government. And here also you can see for their preservation of their culture, 10 tribal freedom fighters museums are being established in 10 states. And empowering tribals by entrepreneurship initiative is a major in this government, and this promoting tribal entrepreneurship can significantly contribute to inclusive growth and development in India by improving the socio-economic status of tribal communities and integrating them into the national economy. So the government has launched several initiatives to empower scheduled tribes, including the Tribal Entrepreneurship Development Program is aimed at improving the lives of the tribal community of India. So the program is focused at providing a platform to tribal artists that can help them reach the international market, promoting economic opportunities and cultural exchange. There is also another vision towards Atmanirbhar Bharat given by the Prime Minister. I will talk later on this. So, with technology taking over the business sector, this tribal development entrepreneurship program is a training at large number of tribal artists and help them market their products in the current market. On the other hand, the Ministry of Tribal Affairs, along with the FX industry body, that is Associated Chambers of Commerce and Industry of India, which is called ASSOCHAM, initiative jointly, they have initiated jointly for the tribal entrepreneurship development. And this ASSOCHAM has been designated as one of the several centers of excellence which are partnering with Ministry of Tribal Affairs to carry out special projects related to socio-economic development of tribal, especially in art and culture. So this Tribal Entrepreneurship Development Program identifies the artisans engaged in segments like tribal textiles, paintings, bamboo craft, metal artwork, wall artwork, and superfoods, among other things, and also traditional medicine plants, products, and forest produce. So, till now, around 1,000 artisans were selected for the program from across the country, and the tribes who have been selected in this Pan India have been assessed the training module design based on that, and the training aim at improving the skill set based on the area of their expertise and development and new designs for their products as per as market demand, and skills to market products on various platforms, maintain checks and balances, and better accounting practices for managing finances are taught and emphasized under this TEDP. So this TEDP is aimed at ensuring the quality of life at the last man in the line and strengthening tribal entrepreneurship. And the training of the tribal entrepreneurs were initiated based on training needs, assessments, and analysis of market needs. So the main objective of this program is to enable them to gain suitable employment or help them to become a self-employed amplify their skill set, tap new market through digital means, and at the same time become financially independent. So apart from this TDP, we have also TriFed, which is playing a very important role to enhance the socio-economic status of tribal people through better marketing of their products, which can help in overcoming these challenges. And also government is trying to promote art and culture and heritage of various tribal communities at a different platforms with the different ministries, with the different organizations, and with the different institutions. So the mandate of the Ministry of Culture revolves around the functions like preservation and conservation of our cultural heritage and promotion of all forms of art and culture, both tangible and intangible, through research and documentations. So to protect, preserve, and promote various forms of folk, traditional art, and culture throughout the country, the government of India has set up 7 zonal cultural centers, that is called GCCs, with headquarters at Patiala, Nagpur, Udaipur, Prayagraj, Kolkata, Dimapur, and Tanjavur. So these all states, they cover different corners of the city, different corners of the states of the country. So these zonal centers organize various cultural activities and programs all over the country on regular basis, for which annual grant in aid is provided for them. Another platform is Sangeet Natak Academy, which is there in New Delhi, organizes various festivals, including their search focus on folk and tribal performing arts all over the country. Also gives grant in aid for research, documentation, and publishing documents and records of the performing arts for its audio-visual archives to preserve and promote performing arts of India, including tribal culture. Another platform is Sahitya Academy, which is also in Delhi, organizes seminars, symposias, online and offline, on tribal literature, on regional as well as national levels. And we have also regional centers of CCRT have been establishing in tribal dominated areas for promoting the folk or tribal art and culture through its training program, and supporting tribal artisans and craft persons through its token honorarium on their valuable services. We have also to preserve and promote the art, culture, and heritage of various tribal communities across the country. The Indira Gandhi Rashtriya Manav Sangrahalaya organizes programs like exhibitions, education programs, workshop, performing arts presentations, seminars, etc. And in addition to this regular activities, the following 2 annual programs are also being conducted by Indira Gandhi Rashtriya Manav Sangrahalaya. That is, one is on Tribal Literature Festival and Tribal Healer Workshops. Apart from this, there is an institution called Anthropological Survey of India, is an autonomous research organization under the Ministry of Culture, which contributes in the preservation and promotion of tribal culture by carrying out extensive research on their socio-cultural and biological aspects. And under National Mission of Cultural Mapping, Ministry of Culture is also creating a consolidated database of information about cultural assets and resources. For example, a well-mapped cultural inventory on a single platform for essential planning, sustainable economic development, and for preserving the research cultural heritage of India, particularly the endangered art form. And this cultural mapping, this National Mission for Cultural Mapping is established in Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts. And till now, after among the 6,50,000 villages, now this has been almost documented 3.5 lakhs villages. Another is we have IGNC, our own institutes, that Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts, which is under the Ministry of Culture. Also, apart from this research, documentation, conservation, and dissemination of tangible and intangible culture, it has also set up the Atmanirbhar Bharat Center for Design, which is called ABCD, to pave the way for sustainable cultural economy derived from the indigenous crafts of India by empowering the artisan communities with new designs and innovations. So this ABCD is successfully collaborating with various acclaimed designers and esteemed organizations, along with a talented cohort of master artisans for a specific craft-based incubation ateliers at the Red Fort in Delhi. So, in India, the history of cultural heritage, its promotion and protection is present in the true narratives, lifestyles, and artistic forms of indigenous or tribal people. So, recognizing the need to preserve, document, and promote these cultural histories of various unique tribes of India, the Ministry of Tribal Affairs has taken several proactive initiatives. That is, the Ministry of Tribal Affairs objective is to provide more focused approach on the integrated socio-economic development of scheduled tribes, and its efforts to preserve and promote art, culture, and heritage of various tribal communities are supplemented by Ministry of Tribal Culture through festivals, museums, and preservation of vanishing arts. So, Ministry of Tribal Affairs administers the schemes of support to tribal research institutes and tribal festivals, research, information, and mass education, under which the following activities have been undertaken to promote tribal culture and fund for research and documentation of indigenous practices by tribal healers and medicinal plants, and also on Adivasi languages, agricultural system, dances, and paintings. And this Ministry of Tribal Affairs provides funding to TriFed for organizing Adi Mahotsav festival at national level and state level, and state level festivals like Hornbill Festival in Nagaland, Palkut Festival of Mizoram, Medaram Jatra of Telangana are funded through these tribal research institutes. So, as I said you earlier, TriFed also organizes tribal artisan melas to identify new artisans and new products at the sourcing level in states, districts, villages for expanding the tribal producers base. So now it's a time to honor and celebrating India's tribal communities, that on the occasion of this, whatever tribal culture and heritage is there, on the occasion of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the government, under the guidance of Honorable Prime Minister, announced that the birth anniversary of Lord Birsa Munda would be celebrated every year as a Janjati Gaurav Divas on November 15th. So, besides many tribal museums to many tribal museums to honor the sacrifices of tribal freedom fighters, the government has sanctioned the establishment of 10 tribal freedom fighters museums across the states where tribal fiercely resisted British rule. And not only that, in addition to these, museums also will touch upon both the tangible and intangible cultural history of various tribal communities and will display important artifacts, handicrafts, sculptures, objects, and histories from different eras to highlight the skills of tribal communities of India. And these museums will be the center of special attraction of the tourists due to their location. And I think even Andhra Pradesh has also got one of these tribal freedom fighters museum in Paderu or some area. So on November 1st, 2022, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced plans to develop Mangar Dham. This is another incident of travel that has happened in Rajasthan, Banswara district, a site where over 1,500 Bhil freedom fighters were martyred in 1913 during the British massacre. We know many of this kind of massacre at various places, but nobody has, not many people know this Mangad incidents. So for this memorial, a collaborative effort between Rajasthan, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, and Maharashtra will serve as a national tribute to tribal resilience and cultural heritage. We also made a movie on this Mangad incident from our institute. So all these initiatives, along with other steps taken by the government, have paved the path of bringing the tribal communities into the mainstream while honoring their culture, legacies, and the way of life. So I may not call it as a conclusion, but I think it is a discussion and debate that we must carry on. That many things government at the one hand is uh, giving the schemes and many other initiatives, but still there are few lacking in their implementation. So government has taken various steps for the development of tribals under the Development Action Plan for Scheduled Tribes of the schemes of the obligated ministries and departments. But all these initiatives, along with other steps taken by the government, have been considerably improvements in the socio-economic conditions of the scheduled tribes. Whatever budget the government sanctioned for the tribal development must be spent within 3 years, and this does not happen. On the other hand, when they increase the budget every year, there is the inflation. They don't consider this, and there will not be much difference in the increased budget. This is another problem. And within the sanctioned budget, hardly they spend not more than 50%, and remaining budget either they divert or it will remain in unspent. So there must be, we must strengthen the implementation and monitoring of government scheme is very, very essential. So the government has launched multiple schemes and programs to support the scheduled tribes. But however, the state of the tribal people in some of the districts have not changed much over the years. And many studies have been observed the implementation of the programs and the schemes has been slow in various districts. So this calls for setting up a robust review and monitoring mechanism by which implementation progress of each of the government schemes can be monitored properly. So there should be monitoring boards. Communities should be set up at each level, including village and blocks. So reports of these committees can then be submitted to the district and state level committees. And the aim of the initiative would be to ensure that the benefits under each of the programs or schemes reach every tribal family living in a village and a block. And this will also help in identifying the factors responsible for delaying in implementation, and necessary measures can be therefore be taken to tackle such issues. So the significant impact and a pressure to conform to the cultural standards of dominant elite and evident are elite or evident. There is an increasing trend of cultural integration, which is likely to lead to a mark of transformation in tribal lifestyles. Although the advancements brought about by modern and scientific perspectives can benefit their progress, it is equally important to focus on safeguarding their traditional practices, which are of great significance. So, the impact of tribal culture on Indian civilization is a profound, forming a vital component of the nation's cultural tapestry, and exploring the rich diversity of tribal heritage allows for a greater appreciation of the complex elements that have influenced India's cultural identity. And recognizing and safeguarding these contributions is essential, serving both as a cultural obligation and as a pathway to cultivate a more inclusive and enriched society. Simultaneously, the nation has a chance to learn important lessons from the grace of tribal social traditions, their principles of communal sharing, and their deep respect for all facets of existence. So, notable qualities include their intrinsic humility, appreciation for nature, and most significantly, their steadfast dedication to social equality and civic harmony. So, with these few words, I stop here and I thank Dr. Dharmarao ji for giving me this opportunity. So, anything we can, any questions or any discussion I can take. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, sir, for your wonderful speech on tribal culture and heritage. Now, may I ask for the reflections of the audience. If anybody wants to speak, or if
Ramana,
anybody wants to ask
wait,
anything.
right, Mr. Ramana. Thank you, Professor Anil Kumar. It's indeed a great opportunity for all of us to know about the uh, policies of the government of India as well as the state governments in terms of the development of tribal communities and preserving their cultures and how these policies are being implemented. A very extensive and elaborative information we have got today. Thank you very much. As an anthropologist, and that too is working in the Janapada Sampada division of Indira Gandhi National Center for Arts. Now you are closely moving with the tribal communities and the various activities related to the tribal community. So it's a very rich experience for all of us to know these things from you. And I sincerely thank you for your time as well as for your webinar now. And some people, they raised their hands, and my colleague from RC Koraput also raised the hand. So I request my colleague from RC Koraput to please say a few words.
Good afternoon to Regional Director RC Visakhapatnam, and good afternoon to the resource person. Thank you very much, sir. It's a very wonderful program, which we can say it's very relevant for both the Janjati Gaurav Divas as well as for Constitutional Day. So we can say it's a very elaborative program. We do not have that much information, though we are working in the completely tribal belt of Odisha. All those informations are very relevant for us. We can share. One more doubt, sir, regarding all those programs. Is there any provision to awareness among the tribes? Because there are so many tribes here in Koraput, undivided Koraput district, which constitutes 4 districts of Odisha. But there is no awareness to have that much information. So what are the provisions to create awareness among these tribals about the promotion of their tribals, promotion of their arts, culture, and all the facilities available for the promotion of all these things?
Thank you, madam. Can I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Actually, one thing is like extensive work has been done in Odisha state. I'm telling you, lots of reports have been there. But I don't know why they are not able to make aware about that, because so much of research, because the state itself has a 64 or 62 tribes in Koraput, and there is a lot of reports, and there is a lot of institutions that are working towards the protection, preservation of this tribal rich culture and heritage. But maybe we need to take help of different factors, like we can take help of media, or maybe different print media, or maybe audio visual media. And there is also lots of channels are there to create an awareness. And there is also tribal cultural institutes in each and every state, and there is also ministry, so that they can take effort. So that's what I'm telling. There are many schemes that are there for the development of tribals, but it is not reaching, and there is not much awareness that is happening. But we need to think of some kind of alternative, that tribal must know this. Like now there is a phone is available with each and every individual, and many of the government apps are there regarding the Ministry of Culture, or maybe under Ministry of Culture we have a lot of organizations who are working for the tribal only. Because earlier, when I was in IGNOU, I was not known many institutions that are working. And whatever I have today have told you, these are few, because there are few more are there. But I need to find out, and I need a time to talk about that. But few of the institutions, especially Koraput, has a great reach of great research has been done, especially art and culture of tribals.
Yes, sir. Research is going on, but most of the general people, they are doing research. The professors, the institutions, they are doing research. But the facilities, those facilities are not going directly to the tribals. They are not able to involve themselves directly in all those activities, sir.
So that's why I'm telling you, whenever we develop or whenever we implement any scheme, we need to have the participation of the people rather than we participate, because PPP model is very, very important. That let the tribal community should participate each and every activity, whichever schemes they are implementing. That is more important. But government should know this, and I think Kora, especially Odisha government is doing a lot of work on among the tribe. If you type in Google, madam, you get lot of work from Odisha government only.
Sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the information.
Yeah, at this juncture, I would like to make a information. Recently, we conducted one. We celebrated the Janjati Gaurav Divas in a tribal hostel in Visakhapatnam, where we have almost 400 tribal students across the levels of education. I mean, degree, inter, degree, PG, and some are university scholars are also there in that hostel. But when we interacted with them, it's very surprising that even they are also not aware of many issues related to the tribal communities and the government policies, particularly the facilities which are ready for them to avail. They are also not aware. So we need to look into these things also, and so that the tribal students, at least they know what they have in their hand from the government side, so that they can utilize it properly and they can be very good, education.
Government now initiated this Gaurav Janjati Divas only to make aware. Earlier, as I told you, there were only few tribals. They used to celebrate this Janjati Gaurav Divas on the 9th August of Indigenous International Day. But today, this government has specially, announced the 15th November as a Bhagwan Birsa Munda. And I tell you, they have instructed such a way that every institution of this country should celebrate. And today you see opening ICSSR. ICSSR has given open seminar to organize, and he's funding on Gaurav Janjati. And yesterday I told you, when I landed Delhi from Hyderabad, in a flight they're announcing. Imagine, I didn't heard in my life, throughout my life, they have been announcing. And even IIM, IITs, NITs, they never used to celebrate Janjati Gaurav Divas. But today, big universities and big institutions, now government has made a mandatory to celebrate, to make aware about the tribal. And in that, what will happen whenever there will be a awareness program or celebration of Janjati Gaurav Divas, person like me can have discussions on tribal issues and tribal problems and tribal development things. So I have attended almost this year many Janjati Gaurav Divas.
Yes.
So flight.
We have also done from 15th onwards. We have started doing these activities, and now, of course, we will make it a point to do it.
Hey, you ask Dr. Dharmarao. Ask Dr. Dharmarao. Dharmarao ji, since the beginning of the Indira Gandhi National Open University, have any time have you celebrated Janjati Gaurav?
Yes, this is the first time we are doing that.
So this is the first time. IGNOU can play a very important role because IGNOU has several regional centers.
Yes.
So last time also. I have told the ministry, every scheme, whatever activities, please implement through IGNOU.
That is fine, because we have a wide network across the country, so that will be very easier for us to take it into the public very effectively. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Regional Director RC Koraput. Thank you for your participation. We have got a small comment from a participant that Allur Sitaram Raju was not. Yes, we know that, but we know pretty well that Allur Sitaram Raju is not a tribal man, but he fought along the tribal communities only.
Fought for the
tribal areas. He took the support of the tribal communities in the Dandakaranya, particularly in the Visakhapatnam region, Paderu, Araku Valley, Chintapalli, these areas. And still date we have so many tribal warriors tombs are also there. Gaum Gantandura, Gaum Malludura. These are the prominent people from these tribal communities who sacrificed their lives for the tribal community. And of course, We
There
have
are
many
many-
unsung heroes.
There are many non-tribal. They have helped these tribal people to fight, like Alluri Sitaram Maraju in Andhra Pradesh and Govind Guru in Rajasthan. Mangad, I told you, Mangad. Jallianwala Bagh, the incident everybody knows, but nobody knows the incident of Mangad where 1,500 tribal people have died. So such kind of things now it is coming up.
Yes. It is a great opportunity. Really, all Indians should know what exactly the incident. Generally, freedom fighters, when anybody says, we have a handful of people whose names are there in the textbooks and in various other platforms. But many warriors from the deep-rooted areas, particularly in the tribal areas, we have so many people who fought against the British rule, against the exploitation, well before independence and even after independence also. So we need to know the roots of our people. So this is a very great opportunity for all of us. And Professor Anil, we are very happy to have you with us today.
Apart from this, I'm telling one more thing. Apart from this, government is also celebrating functions, platforms like Lok Manthan and Ishan Manthan to popularize the tribal culture, art, and everything. So every 2 years there will be Lok Manthan in each and every state. And Ishan Manthan is for Northeast region to make popularize the tribal culture, to make aware. So last 4 or 5 days I was there in Lok Manthan, which has held at Bhagyanagar for 5 days.
Yeah. I have seen your photograph. Any
Sir, one thing, may I request Professor Anil sir, sir, is it possible from your unit to share the few guidelines to all the regional centers?
Definitely. I will do that. I can.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Any other participants who want to interact with Professor Anil Kumar? Thank you. So we can take the meeting further, and I request Shri Venkatapatrao Naidu Garu, Section Officer, Regional Center Visakhapatnam, to propose vote of thanks. Thank you.
Prasad is not there in this regional center.
Krishna is on leave.
Acha, Krishna is only okay. That's why I'm not listening any noise.
Of course, he will be joining tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Please unmute yourself.
Sorry. Thank you, Professor K. Anil Kumar, Head of the Department, Janapada Sampada Division, for your wonderful speech on tribal welfare in India, and particularly some of the tribal leaders in Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and other areas. And we know that tribals are actually not that clearly discussed about their issues of the past many decades. Due to the government activities and remembrance, now we are talking about so many tribal leaders, including Alluri Sitaram Maraju, and recently what we are celebrating the leader, Birsa Munda, and we are actively making contribution to the tribal leaders, but we are even performing some programs also from 15th onwards continuously, and visiting 1 or 2 places, and even tribal hostels, and conducting meetings there and interaction with the tribal students who are staying in the tribal hostels. They are also very happy to interact with them, and we are conducting the web series. In one of the web series, of course, we have you today here in this web series, online web meeting, and we are really enlightened about the tribal development. And however, as we sit down to enjoy our meals and share time with family and friends, we must also recognize that many tribal communities continue to face significant challenges. Poverty, limited access to healthcare and education, and issues of land and cultural preservations remain at the forefront of many tribal welfare concerns. And today, I'm very happy you have very extensively discussed about them, and what are the other things we are supposed to do in future, and what the government's also to do in future. And as the momentum has actually gathered, and in future we are going to celebrate so many tribal welfare discussions, and we see that they also join us and enjoy all the fruits what we achieve, the nation achieves in future. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much once again. And again, thanks all my colleagues, from the regional centers and the study centers and from the regional center for attending and making this program very successful. And thank you once again, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Happy Janjati
Thank
Gaurav
you.
Divas.
Thank you. Happy Janjati Gaurav Divas. Thank you all.
Okay, bye.